Welcome to the next installment in my video lecture series for international economics. And in this particular video lecture, I'm going to be taking a look at the impact of external economies and any potential losses that could occur because of the presence of these external economies. So we'll take a look here, and what we have is the world market for watches. All right, we have price and cost, average cost, on the y-axis and the quantity of watches on the x-axis. And we see that we have Switzerland, and here are their average costs associated with that particular watch industry. And you can see that this is downward sloping, indicating that we have external economies, and that's why we have this average cost curve sloping the way we do. And if we take a look at that and the world market, we can see that the equilibrium is going to be 0.1 with a price of P1. Now, if we also take a look at this, we can see that the average cost in Thailand is less than that, but because the price in the world is less than that entry average cost that the Thai firms would be producing at, they would be excluded from the marketplace because their average cost at the initial stages of production will be greater than the price, and these firms will lose money. So in the presence of this, this could actually shut out a particular country from producing a particular item, even though they have a cost advantage and they're more efficient. So this part of the video is very much a review from the previous video that is out there, the one about the importance of established advantage. So this part is very similar to that. Well, how we're going to change this is, let's take a look at what occurs if Thailand actually shut that market down and produced watches for their own domestic market. So the only things that we're going to be concerned with is the average cost in Thailand and the demand in Thailand, and that will give us what the equilibrium price in Thailand would be. So where they intersect one another, right there, excuse me, is the equilibrium if they shut the market and domestically produce what is demanded domestically. So here we have 0.2, and let me change the font on that just so it's similar to the other one. So that is 0.2, and we can see at that equilibrium point, the price domestically would be lower, let me call that P2, would be lower than the world price that Switzerland would sell at. So here's the price that Switzerland sells watches at in the world market. And here is the price that would prevail if Thailand closed that market and allowed domestic producers to produce the items and meet domestic demand for that particular product. So you can see here that the losses associated with this, that even though the world forces out there are producing the item, that the people in Thailand would end up paying a higher price for watches if they open up the marketplace in this particular scenario. So just realize that the two things that could be occurring here are, number one, that the watch market in Thailand could be precluded from producing, even though it's more efficient and produces at a lower average cost than Switzerland, because of the fact that the price that's prevailing in the world market is below the initial costs of production at the initial stages. So they would be losing money for that production. The losses that you end up seeing is that the Thai people are actually paying a higher price for watches compared to if the Thai government shut down trade and precluded imported watches from coming in. The Thai people, if that actually occurred, could pay a lower price for domestically produced watches than they would pay at the prevailing world price for watches.